number 13, J.C. Encarnacion. Batting 6th, the left fielder. For number 44, Alex McGarry. Batting 7th, the second baseman, number 14, Ivan Castillo. Batting 8th, number 6, the third baseman, Hector Gomez. And rounding up the lineup for the Long Island Ducks tonight, we're number 41, the catcher, Jonathan Waite. And again, it is Star Wars night here at the ballpark, if you can't tell, as we watch the ceremonial first pitches at the ballpark tonight. Darth Vader out there. To be fair, it's a little bit of a smaller looking Darth Vader than I'm necessarily used to seeing, but Darth Vader nonetheless, who's getting ready to come up here and toss in his ceremonial first pitch. But Star Wars night at the ballpark, a lot of great events and different activities going on all year long here at Mariners Park in its inaugural year. Seats about 4,000. And it's going to be every bit of 4,000 people here tonight on this Star Wars night, and also Fireworks Friday. So big night at the ballpark in downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. Now let's take a quick look at the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars starting lineup. Batting first, number 3, the center fielder, Demetrius Moore, comes in batting .253. Batting second, who we heard from a little bit earlier in today's pregame show, the second baseman, number 1, Cito Culver, who's added a few home runs in the last couple of homestands to his tally. Batting third, the second baseman, number 7, Jalen Williams, the hottest hitter on the Boxcars team at the moment. Batting .429 with 18 hits and 6 RBIs. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Wellington Dotel. Batting fifth, Curtis Terry, the first baseman, who's getting his first action after leaving early in the second game of the Lancaster series back on Tuesday. And I was able to catch up with him in the batting cage a little earlier today in the tunnel. And I asked him what was wrong, because I could tell it was a hand injury of some sort. And he said it was an ingrown nail and just had to get that figured out, which, hey, we've, I think, all been there and understand that one. Going on for the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars tonight, batting sixth, number 32, the DH, Dario Gomez, got his first home run as a boxcar last night. Batting seventh, number 31, the left fielder, Justin Williams. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Osvaldo Abreu. And batting ninth, the catcher tonight, wearing number 15, Tyler Hill. Starting pitcher for the Boxcars, number 9, Dylan Sabia. Starting pitcher for the visiting Long Island Ducks is Stephen Woods, Jr. We will step aside one final time, come back, get ready for the national anthem, and get set for game 1 of this 3-game series between the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars and the Long Island Ducks on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network. Welcome back to Meredith Park as we are just about ready for first pitch of Game 1 between the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars and the visiting Long Island Ducks. The Boxcars coming in with a record of 15-19, 12 games back behind New York, who is leading the Northern Division, and Long Island comes in with a record of 19-25. They're 8 games back behind New York. Now, this is a pretty important series, especially for the Boxcars, but really for both the Ducks and Hagerstown. Like I said, 19-25 the record of Long Island, and 15-29 the record of the Boxcars. So the Boxcars just 4 games back of Long Island for 4th place in the Northern Division of the ALPB. So no, the Boxcars couldn't tie it or take over their spot in this series, but they could go a long way in getting back into a little bit of a hunt for the first half of the season. And don't forget, this season is broken up into 2 parts. July 4th is when the first half ends and the second half begins. So that'll be an important date for the Boxcars coming up, because I think this team is primed for a explosion in the second half, especially with the offense that we saw last night. Again, the Boxcars taking a 17-9 win over Lancaster on 17 runs on 18 hits. And it was an important game for the history books here last night, because Lancaster, with their win on Wednesday over the Boxcars, extended their win streak to 15 games. And if they would have won last night, they would have tied, or they would have taken over the overall spot, the longest win streak in Atlantic League history, which is now held by both Lancaster and the Somerset team of 2000. So the Boxcars were able to stifle history, if you will, but still making history really every game at Meredith Park. This brand new ballpark that was built in a matter of no time. It seemed like overnight the ballpark just popped up here in downtown Hagerstown, right at the intersection of Baltimore Street and Summit Avenue, right literally in downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. At some point tonight, you'll see a shot of the Hagerstown skyline in center field, a beautiful setting and backdrop for baseball. But this, not the first iteration of baseball in the Hub City. Of course, the Hagerstown Suns were here for, goodness, forever, it seemed, in my entire lifetime of baseball in Hagerstown. But they played in the, we'll call them the friendly confines of Municipal Stadium, which was just about a mile away from here, just on the other side of downtown. And that was a ballpark that saw a lot of great baseball games. A lot of great players came through. Steven Strasburg, Bryce Harper, a lot of Nationals, big names. Of course, they're an affiliate of the Blue Jays and the Giants and the Baltimore Orioles as well. But when Major League Baseball shortened up or shrunk the minor league system, Hagerstown, unfortunately, was one that got cut. But fast forward to 2024, and baseball is back in Hagerstown, and it has been a blast to watch not only this team come together and start to coexist as a brand new ball club in its first year, but also see the town, the city, the community come back together for baseball, which that relationship got pretty strained here in the Hub City towards the end of the Suns' tenure. But it is back to a very healthy relationship, I would say, between the fans and the Boxcars. And that's a good thing, because Hagerstown fans are a special breed of baseball fans. They're an intelligent group. They're going to know the player's average. They're going to know where they're from. They're going to especially know their name. And that's for both the home and the away team. And they'll let these guys know if they're playing well, and they'll definitely let them know if they need to be playing a little bit better. And, well, going off last night's performance, things are going in the right direction for the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. Again, I can't get over it. 17-9, they beat the Lancaster Stormers, and 9 of those runs coming in just the first inning. And I was able to speak with a couple of fans that were here at the ball game last night. And of course, it was a Thirsty Thursday. So what better scenario if you're coming to enjoy a couple of adult beverages for a Thirsty Thursday game than 9 runs, an hour and a half long first inning, adding on to the extent that you can, well, enjoy those beverages. Well, manager Mark Mason for the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars and manager Lou Ford for Long Island Ducks have finished their meeting with umpires We'll go through them. The home plate umpire, John Grosso. First base umpire, Antonio Penzon. And third base umpire, Justin Alvarez. And with that, we should be seeing the Boxcars make their way onto the field and get ready for a national anthem. Looks like we've got a big choir set up. We've had great national anthems here at the ballpark all year. And great crowds. Last night, 3,128 fans in attendance, averaging right around 3,000 in this brand new ballpark. But while we got a few seconds, make sure you go follow the Boxcars on social media. Of course, Twitter, X @GoFlyingBoxcars, and also on Facebook. Just search Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. You can find my conversation, which played a little earlier in the pregame show with Cito Culver, who's been on an absolute tear at the plate and at third base the last couple of games for the Boxcars, and also conversations with Jalen Williams, Demetrius Moore, and others as well. But the Boxcars will now get ready to take the field. We'll hand it over to the PA announcer for the starting lineups.
Singing of our national anthem are members of the Episcopal Church Choir.
What a way to get a ball game started. The Episcopal Church Choir here in Hagerstown, Maryland, with an absolutely beautiful rendition of tonight's national anthem. And now it is time to get this ball game started. Game one of this three-game set between your Hagerstown Flying Boxcars and the Long Island Ducks, live on Flow Sports on the Flow baseball side of Flow Sports. It's the free game of the night. So if it's your first time tuning in to a Hagerstown Flying Boxcars game, welcome in to the brand new Meredith Park in historic downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. Starting pitcher for the Boxcars tonight, number 9, Dylan Sabia. His catcher is Tyler Hill. number 15. Sabia comes in with a record of 1-0, a 5.47 ERA. He struck out 12. He's walked 9, given up 34 hits. And in his last outing, it was on the road at York, the number 1 team in the division, mind you. And he ended up with the win, going 5 innings, 9 hits, gave up 1 run, which was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 3. And he's got the opportunity to keep the momentum going for this Flying Boxcars team that is flying high as of late. Quickly looking around the diamond for the Boxcars, of course, Dylan Sabia, Tyler Hill, your pitcher and catcher. At first base, it's Curtis Terry. We see him for the first time in a few games after injuring a finger. Jalen Williams is your second baseman tonight. Cito Culver, the third baseman for the Boxcars. At shortstop is Osvaldo Abreu. At the start of the season, before we picked up Cito Culver, Osvaldo was your everyday third baseman, and Christian Sepulveda was the everyday shortstop. Well, fast forward a couple of weeks ago to when the Boxcars faced off against the Southern Maryland Blue Claws, when it was the first game of what was being dubbed the Black-Eyed Brawl, due to the Black-Eyed Susan being the state flower of the state of Maryland, which we are in. And, well, long story short, benches cleared, guys got into a tussle, and Christian Sepulveda came out injured. So now we have Cito Culver at third base and Osvaldo Abreu at shortstop, and they have locked down the left side of the field of the diamond for the Boxcars. Looking left to right across the outfield, Justin Williams in left field, Demetrius Moore in center field, and Wellington Dotel in right. First pitch from Dylan Sabia to Manuel Gerardo, 90 miles an hour for strike number 1. Sabia throwing that fastball in for ball number 1. 6'2", 215 out of upstate New York. Still in Sabia. You'll see a low 90s fastball, high 80s fastball that he can locate pretty well. And then the pitch you saw there, a slider that'll be mid to low 70s. That can get batters all in the blender. And he's able to get Manuel Gerardo to strike out to start out the game.
Number 24, Tyler Dearden.
Now up, Tyler Dearden. First pitch swinging through the 81-mile-an-hour changeup for strike number 1. He comes in batting .371 with 52 hits, 29 RBIs. He fouls that one down into the Meinl Schmidt Beer Garden. Now, as I mentioned, this is a state-of-the-art, absolutely brand new ballpark, finished just days before the start of the season in the first home game. But this field's set up to where you can walk all around. If you've ever been down to Florida or even Arizona for a spring training game or gone to any of the minor league fields down there, this is very reminiscent of a Florida League type of ballpark. Very open. You can watch the ball game from anywhere in the ballpark. Plenty of places and bars to sit at if you want to enjoy an adult beverage or two responsibly, of course. Dearden throws the 0-2 up and away. 1-2 the count from Sabia to Dearden. You have the Power Alley Pub in right center field, where if I was coming to enjoy a ball game, that's where I'd be hanging out. And Dearden will poke that one into left field, and that's the first base hit of the game for Long Island.
The first baseman and our K-man for the season, number 30, Ryan McBroom.
Ryan McBroom making his way up to the plate for the first time tonight. One of the many Long Island Ducks with major league experience, spent some time in the Kansas City Royals organization and up in the show with the Royals as he looks at strike number 1 from Dylan Sabia at 90 miles an hour. Most recently, he was playing over in Japan with the Hiroshima Carp. Sabia throws that off-speed pitch away. 1-1 the count. But McBroom comes in batting .208, 22 hits, 17 RBIs. And he's been making some pretty impressive plays defensively and hitting that one hard to left field. Justin Williams back to the warning track to the wall, and he will watch that one fly out of here, as that'll be a 2-run home run for Ryan McBroom, and he keeps his hot hitting as of late going. 2-0 now. Long Island in the top of the first.
The designated hitter, number 22, Chance Sisco.
Chance Sisco making his way to the plate after that Ryan McBroom home run. That was a big fly out to left field. You'll notice watching the game tonight, and if you've watched any Flying Boxcars games on Flow Sports this year, that the ball definitely carries in a big way to right field and right center here at the ballpark. But we've been finding out as of late that if you get it with enough pop to left field, it can go that way pretty good as well, like we just saw from Ryan McBroom. The dimensions looking down the left field line, 346 to the foul pole. Then it goes out to 387. That's your left field wall. Once you get out to left center, it bumps out to form the back center field wall, and that's 400 feet to dead center. And then it kicks back into 338 to right field and 322 down the right field line. So not the biggest ballpark by any means, but you definitely got to find different ways if you're trying to hit the ball out of here, especially if you're a right-handed hitter. Sabia throwing that 2-2 pitch away, filling up the count at 3-2 with 1 out. Again, 2 runs already in for Long Island after the Ryan McBroom 2-run home run. And that one will miss inside. That's a 1-out walk for Chance Sisco.
The center fielder, number 13, J.C. Encarnacion.
J.C. Encarnacion up now for Long Island. He comes in batting just 158 and hasn't spent too much time with Long Island this year. He hits that one past Ozzie Abreu for 1-out base hit. Runners at second and first for Long Island, and the left fielder Alex McGarry.
Number 44, Alex McGarry.
But since this is the Flow Sports free game of the week, and I'm sure we got plenty of people tuning into a Flying Boxcars game for the first time, a little bit about Hagerstown. It's the county seat of Washington County in western Maryland. We're just about an hour away from D.C., an hour and some change away from Baltimore. All you got to do is hop on 70, and if you're going to Baltimore, you stay on that. And then if you're going to D.C., you veer off in Frederick, Maryland, where there will be another ALPB team popping up next year, the Spire City Ghost Hounds, and 270 down to the nation's capital. Also about 2.5 hours as that goes to Jalen Williams. Gets the force at second and a throw out at first, and that's a 5-6-3 or 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. And we'll head into the home half of the first with the Boxcars trailing 2-0. Hagerstown Flying Boxcars baseball. as we head into the home half of the first inning. Boxcars trailing 2-0 to the visiting Long Island Ducks, thanks to the Ryan McBroom 2-run home run. And that will send the leadoff man, Demetrius Moore, your center fielder, up to lead things off for the Boxcars. Stephen Woods Jr., starting pitcher for Long Island, throws a 91-mile-an-hour fastball away for ball number 1. He comes in with a record of 2-3, a 6.15 ERA. Struck out 39. He's walked 20 and given up 56 hits, as that's a softly hit ball to right field, and it'll be caught by Dearden. Thought that was going to drop into no man's land, but that's out number 1 instead for the Boxcars in the bottom of the first.
Number 1, Cito Culver.
But in the last outing for Stephen Woods, as the third baseman, Cito Culver makes his way to the plate for the Boxcars. Woods Jr. went 5 innings against Gastonia, gave up 8 hits, 6 runs, all 6 earned, walked 3, struck out 3. First pitch to Culver is in for strike number 1. And let's look back again at Cito's night last night, because it was a good one in the 17-9 win for the Boxcars. Went 2 for 2 in just the first inning. The Boxcars hit around almost twice. A base hit came around to score his first at-bat in the first. Then a RBI double in his second at-bat in the first inning. Later came around to score as well. And then in the second inning, he came up to hit and had his second RBI double. So he accounted for 5 runs of those 17 last night, which is a pretty special night at the plate. So he looks at that one inside, 2-2 the count, or 2-1 the count rather. But Cito Culver, if you head over to our Facebook page, our Twitter page, you can find our interview with him from earlier today. See, fouls that off-speed pitch away, keeping the count at 1-2. Up after Cito, it's Jalen Williams, then Wellington Dotel, Curtis Terry, Dario Gomez, Justin Williams, and Osvaldo Abreu. Rounding things up for the Boxcars tonight, Tyler Hill. Jalen Williams has had one of the hottest bats in the Atlantic League in the last couple of games. Good eye from Cito Culver, evening the count up at 2-2. But a great crowd at the ballpark tonight for this Fireworks Friday, a beautiful summer's eve, if you will, in the hub city, downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. Here's the 2-2 from Woods. That one misses inside. Full count to Cito Culver. And Cito, 4 home runs, one of which coming in this homestand. Here's the 3-2. That misses inside. Good at bat from Cito Culver. And that's a 1-out walk. And a runner on for Jalen Williams. He's batting .429. He's got 18 hits, 6 RBIs. He came over from the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Him and Alex Katz both came over during that series, so he just switched clubhouses halfway through. But he has gotten going in a big way for the Boxcars and has not looked back. He had a big night last night as well. See, watches that one in for strike number 1. Last night, RBI base hit in the first inning in his first at-bat, then base hit in his second at-bat. He counted for 4 runs, either scored or batting in. But a big 2-run home run in the final game, or in the second to last game against the Lancaster Stormers, which gave the Boxcars the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning a few nights ago. But then a 2-run home run to answer right back for the Stormers in the top of the 9th. Eventually gave them the win in that one. The Boxcars went 1 out of 3 against Lancaster. 0-2 pitch, hit hard to the left side. Gerardo will pick it up, will get the force at second, and they'll round up the double play to end the Boxcars' home half of the first inning. Coming up for Long Island, it'll be 7-8-9, Ivan Castillo, Hector Gomez, and Jonathan Waite on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network. Welcome back to Meredith Park as we head into the top of the second inning. Long Island leading 2-0 after the first inning 2-run home run by Ryan McBride. Up first to face Dylan Sabia in the top of the second is the second baseman, Ivan Castillo. First pitch was in for strike number one. Second in for ball number one. And again, Sabia comes in with a record of 1-0, a 5.47 ERA. Mainly come out of the bullpen this year for the Boxcars. Is this just his second start? That one's hit softly to the right side. Sabia is able to pounce off the mound and flip it over to Curtis Terry for a quick out. Number one.
Number 6, Hector Gomez.
But again, this just the second start for Dylan Sabia in 15 appearances. This is 16th, but in 15 appearances out of the bullpen, he's done fairly well. The thing with the Boxcars, if you're tuning in for the first time, is that they still are trying to get into a flow. In the last handful of games, they have gotten into that flow. But it's either a really good starting pitching performance, just the bats aren't really coming together that night, or vice versa. The bats are lighting the scoreboard up, but the pitching, as that one's hit to the left side, and Justin Williams will jog in, and a almost collision between Demetrius Moore and Justin Williams, and the ball will fall between them. That'll be a one-out base runner and Hector Gomez. But with a first-year ball club, and he couldn't have a better manager for a first-year ball club that is as young as the Boxcars are. And manager Mark Mason, longtime Atlantic League coach, won multiple league championships, division championships. Spent a long time in New York, Staten Island. That ball's hit hard to left field as two runners now on board in Hector Gomez and Jonathan Waite. That'll get back to the top of the lineup for Long Island, and Manuel Gerardo, who struck out in his first at-bat. But it is Star Wars night here at the ballpark. Darth Vader making his way around, standing up on the top of the home dugout at the moment. Wouldn't hate for him to use the force or something and maybe get the ball into a glove or two this inning, as that one's fouled off by Manuel Gerardo. Again, he struck out in the first inning to lead things off. But on our Twitter page at Go Flying Boxcars, you can find the Star Wars trivia game that the players were a part of. That off-speed pitch is hit softly to Curtis Terry. He'll step on first base for out number 2 as Gomez and Waite advance to second and third. But 2 outs here in the top of the second inning for Long Island, and Tyler Dearden, the right fielder, up to the plate. Dearden, base hit his first at bat, and then came around to score on the Ryan McBroom home run. But a hot night tonight, a muggy night, if you will, steamy night in Hagerstown. At first pitch, it was 80 degrees. Now right around 75, but humid, cloudy. First pitch swinging is Dearden. That's well foul. It'll go all the way down to Welly Dotel in right field. But the first 3 homestands here in Hagerstown, it rained, and I'm being serious, every single game of the first 3 homestands, whether it was for 10 minutes, an hour, the entire game, it was a wild and wonderful first couple of homestands here at the ballpark. And now the guys finally getting to play in some good weather in Hagerstown. It was 90 degrees yesterday and sunny. A nice breeze cooling things down for the fans and the ball players, although that breeze not making its way into the press box and into the broadcast booth, that's for sure. 1-1. Sabia comes set. The off-speed pitch misses away to Dearden. 2-1 now the count. With it being Star Wars night, it seems like one of the injured Boxcars, Joe Campagna, is a little bit of a Star Wars fanatic, if you will. He has been a part of all of the promotional advertisements and videos and things for this Star Wars night. Him and Curtis Terry are doing the pregame quiz over on the at Go Flying Boxcars page, and that one's set into the air to right center field. Moore chasing it down, and a hit off the wall. One run will come around to score. A second as Tyler Dearden slides into second base with a 2 RBI double with 2 outs here in the second inning.
The first baseman and our K-man for the season, Ryan McBroom.
Now Lancaster, they're sitting at 4th Long Island. Lancaster was here last night. They finished up their 3-game set. But Long Island, they're sitting at 4th in the division with a record of 19-25. The Boxcars sitting behind them at 5th with a record of 15-29. But they're on a 2-game losing streak. They're just 2-8 in their last 10 games. But you wouldn't be able to tell that at the moment with the way that they're being able to hit the ball around the ballpark. First pitch to Ryan McBroom, who hit the 2-1 home run in the first inning, is in at 90 miles an hour for strike number 1, as Stormtroopers over on top of the home dugout have a little bit of trouble getting Darth Vader off the dugout. They finally got him up and going now. The 0-1 from Sabia. It's hit in the air to the right side. Dotel ranging in and bringing that one in for out number 3. 2 runs come around to score again for Long Island in the top of the second inning, and their lead advances to 2-0. After the Boxcars, it'll be Dotel, Terry, and Gomez when we come back on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network. And we're back here at Mariners Park for the home half of the second inning. Boxcars trailing 4-0 to the visiting Long Island Ducks. I'm Jordan Icewarner with you here on the Flow Sports app, and it's the Flow Baseball game of the night. So if you're tuned in for the first time, welcome. Welcome into Hagerstown, Maryland, in this brand new Mariners Park. And if you're a subscriber to Flow Sports already, well, tell your friends that tonight it's the free game, and you can tune in for some good baseball happening here in the ALPB. It'll be Welly Dotel, Curtis Terry, and Dario Gomez up for the Boxcars in the home half of the second. First pitch to Wellington Dotel in for strike number one. Last night for Dotel in the big 17-9 win, he had a base hit in his first at-bat in the first inning. In his second at-bat in the first inning, an RBI base hit. Then in the second inning, an RBI double for him. So he had tested for 4 runs for the Boxcars last night. And he's a guy that can hit for power. He's a 5-tool type of guy out there. He's got the arm, he's got the speed, he's got the bat. And he's been fun to watch for the Boxcars this year. Him and Magnarius Sierra, when they were getting going at the beginning of the season before Sierra got his contract bought by a Mexican League team, with their speed and the way they were hitting the ball, that was a tough top of the lineup to get after. But 2-2 after that one from Stephen Woods Jr. to Wellington Dotel. The leadoff man for the Boxcars. He comes into tonight batting .300. He's got 39 hits, 11 RBIs. Handful of stolen bases to his name. Grounds that one to the left side as Gerardo will throw on the run and toss out Dotel for out number one.
The first baseman, number 14, Curtis Terry.
Now here's a fan favorite making his way back into the batter's box for the first time after being out last night. Back on the 12th, he injured his finger after a pickoff attempt when he was playing first base. So he swings at the first pitch and grounds that one to the shortstop as Gerardo will take his time and fire it across for out number two. But it's nice to have Curtis Terry back, and it was unfortunate that he got injured when he did, because he was really starting to get into a good rhythm at the plate as well. He had a base hit. He was 1 for 1 in that game before he went out. But the guy that took over for him, that had a big night last night himself, comes to the plate. And Dario Gomez, he got his first and second hits as a Boxcar last night. A double in the second inning. And then in his next at bat in the third, hit a 362-foot home run that just snuck out over the left field wall. And I caught up to him after the game when everybody was, leaving, exiting the field and whatnot. And I said, Dario, hey, if you go back and listen to the highlight, I want to apologize that it doesn't sound like I was calling a home run, because I didn't think I was. And then all of a sudden it flew out over the left field wall. So a happy accident, happy mistake on my part. But loving to see Dario Gomez with a breakout game last night. So he looks at that 0-1 pitch at 92 from Woods Jr. on the outside corner for strike number two, as he's going to call time. Get umpires tonight. John Grosso behind the plate. Antonio Penzone at first base. Justin Alvarez over at third. Here comes the 0-2 to Gomez. Off-speed pitch misses away. And also, as I was walking out with Dario last night, his dog, his puppy, was waiting for him outside the gate. That's always a welcome surprise after a ball game. Here comes the 1-2 to him. Hits that one to right center. Playing at the position was Encarnacion, but it's going to fall in front of him for a 2-out base hit for Dario Gomez.
The left field, number 31, Justin Williams.
Encarnacion was playing literally the perfect position. If Gomez would have gotten a little bit more under that ball, it would have gone right to him. But thankfully, a hard hit line drive base hit with 2 outs. That'll bring up the big left fielder, Justin Williams. Comes in batting 171. He's got 3 home runs, 2 of which have come here at Meredith Park. He sent them into the church parking lot, well beyond the boundaries of Meredith Park in left and right field. He's got 9 RBIs, 13 hits, again 3 home runs. He punches that one down the right field line, but it's going to go foul. He's going to need a new bat. He'll run into the dugout and get one from Cito Culver quickly. Good job by Cito. He'd be a good hockey equipment manager with a broken stick. Get the new stick out there when they come flying by. Not wasting any time. Justin Williams comes back in. Ready, set for the 1-2. Off-speed pitch will find the outside corner. Getting some oohs and ahs from the fans behind the plate on that slider. Stephen Woods Jr., number 21. Again, he comes in with a record of 2-3 and a 6.15 ERA. Williams, good eye, evening up the count. 2 outs, and the Boxcars trailing 4-0 in the bottom of the second inning. First game of this 3-game set to finish up the homestand for the Boxcars against these Long Island Ducks. 2-2 hit to the left side. Going back is McGarry to the warning track and off the wall as Gomez will get sent around third base, and he'll come home for an RBI double from Justin Williams. Justin Williams adding on his 10th RBI as a Boxcar. The lefty that likes to pull the ball to the right side, doing a good job taking that pitch the other way and scoring. Darryl Gomez all the way from first base. Now speed at second. And Justin Williams for Ozzie Abreu. First pitch to the shortstop is up and in at 92 miles an hour. But Justin Williams with a fair amount of major league experience, showing it there. That was a big league hit if I've seen one. The 1-0 to Osvaldo Abreu misses away. 2-0 count to him. The Boxcars get on the board 4-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. Foul ball straight back. Fans diving out of the way. And this ballpark, Meredith Park, just finished being built just a few days before the first homestand got started. And it is state of the art, especially in the way of protecting the fans and for the fan experience, which is amazing for these ball fans in Hagerstown. My favorite part, which I think is an underrated rule throughout all of Major League Baseball that got implemented a few years ago, is the protective netting that goes all the way down the foul line to the foul poles. So now you can sit in those nice seats, down close to the field, not have to worry about getting ready for a line drive or something. Here comes the 3-1 pitch to Osvaldo Abreu. That'll catch the upper half of the zone. Abreu called time. He's not quite happy about that location. Now, in some indie leagues around, they have the option where you can challenge a call at the plate. And I think you can't do that here in this league, but I think kind of the way that the players nowadays voice their opinion about a call is just immediately calling time afterwards. You'll see a lot of the players do that. But a full count, 2 out, runner on second base. Stephen Woods Jr. comes set The Boxcars shortstop, Osvaldo Abreu. Good eye and a good at-bat from Abreu as he'll walk down the first base line. Runners at second and first for the catcher, Tyler Hill. You can head over to the Boxcars Facebook page and catch my interview with Tyler Hill from a few games ago. And he's been starting to get into a good rhythm. He splits time with Andres Noriega behind the plate. Tyler Hill's last game was the Wednesday game against Lancaster, where he went 1 for 4 with a base hit in the 7th inning. So he swings at the first pitch, hits it hard to Gerardo, who'll get the force out at second base. And the Boxcars threaten but unable to bring runs in after Dario Gomez comes around to score thanks to the Justin Williams RBI double. And the Boxcars are on the board 4-2 Ducks. And we'll head into the top of the third inning on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network.
We are at the ballpark, and it's Star Wars night. What a great night it is. Going down the field right now. Those do not look like fishing rods. It doesn't look like we're playing a fishing game. What are we doing down there, Maggie?
We're playing a special edition of the Crumpies game tonight with our lightsabers to celebrate Star Wars night. I have Derek and Blake here on the field with us to join us for this one.
Alrighty, you guys ready? And your marks, get set, start eating. Here we go. There they go, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for them. They need a little bit more excitement than that. Come on. They can't hear you over here on the third base side. Come on now. Eat them donuts. You can do it. All right, counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, who's our winner, Maggie?
It kind of looks like a tie, but I think Blake took it by just a little.
We don't got no ties in baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Blake. He's your winner tonight. Make some noise. He can't hear you.
Welcome back to Mariners Park as we head into the top of the third inning. Boxcars get a run in the second, but still trailing 4-1. Jordan Nice winner with you. In game one between the Boxcars and the Long Island Ducks, Dylan Sabia's first pitch to Chance Cisco is in for strike number 1. Cisco had a base hit, or walked rather, in his first at-bat back in the first inning. So watch that one away for ball number 1. It is Star Wars night here at the ballpark. As you saw during the in-between inning game, they were using lightsabers for the Crumpies Donut Eating Challenge, and there's some Star Wars characters roaming around the ballpark and fans dressed up as their favorite Star Wars character. Speaking of which, and I was watching the Star Wars trivia video between Joe Campagna and Curtis Terry, which you can find over on the Flying Boxcars Twitter or Facebook page. But I think if I'd have to choose my favorite Star Wars character, it'd have to either be young Anakin from the pod racing stuff, that movie, whichever one that was, Return of the Jedi maybe, or Darth Maul. That whole Star Wars movie was the best, in my opinion. The 2-2 pitch from Sabia misses low. Full count to Chance Cisco, the DH tonight for the Ducks. It'll be a leadoff walk for Chance Cisco. 2 walks for him tonight. as JC Encarnacion, center fielder, come up to the plate. And he's a big center fielder. He's filling in for Jackie Bradley Jr. tonight. Encarnacion, 6'3", 215 out of the Dominican Republic. Got up to AAA and affiliated ball. He played most recently for Lexington in the Atlantic League. He looks at ball one away. And Encarnacion 1 for 1 on the day. So fouled that one off. 1-1 out to the center fielder. Saw a couple of Jackie Bradley Jr. Red Sox jerseys floating around the ballpark during pregame today. And he's not playing today. The 1-1, that's hit to Abreu. He'll flip it to Williams. The throw and the pick by Curtis Terry, and he's out at first base. A great turn by the Boxcars, and 2 outs here in the 3rd inning.
Visit them at their Hagerstown location or at www.cnb.bank. The left fielder.
Textbook 6-4-3 double play by the Boxcars. A great pick by Curtis Terry there at first base. Can't forget about the first baseman on a play like that. Now Alex McGarry takes a big hack at the first pitch for strike number 1. He grounded into a 4-6-3 double play to end the 1st inning. He'll hit that one to left field. Jogging back just a little bit, Justin Williams, and they'll bring in out number 3. We will head in to the home half of the 3rd inning, and it'll be the top of the lineup: Demetrius Moore, Cito Culver, and Jalen Williams on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network. Back to Meredith Park as we are getting started in the home half of the 3rd inning. I'm Jordan Icewinter with you on the Flow Sports, Flow Baseball free game of the week between the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars and the Long Island Ducks. 4-1 Long Island. Demetrius Moore comes to the plate, the leadoff man for Hagerstown. It'll be Moore, Culver, and Williams in the home half of the 3rd. Stephen Woods Jr. out there on the mound for Long Island, as that one will go foul down the right field line into that protective netting. But 0 for 1 on the day is Moore with a fly out to right field. But he comes in batting 253, and he's a fun guy to watch, you know, around the ball team, out on the field. He calls himself the energy guy on the team, and he definitely is that. So watch that one low for ball number 2. But he's always the guy that's keeping everybody up in the dugout. That's, you know, keeping guys in it loose. So watch that one away for ball number 3. 3-1 count to Moore. And he has definitely put himself into the running for one of the top fan favorites here for the Boxcars, as he'll watch that one in for strike number 2, thinking it was a walk, but having to go back after John Grosso, home plate umpire. And Moore doing a wily vet move for the young guy, and went up and made sure he told home plate umpire Grosso that he wouldn't try to show him up. And maybe also said that that wasn't a strike. But back to the full count pitch. Hit to the right side and fouled, just fouled. Great call by Antonio Penzone. He was right on that one down the right field line. Now, as I was talking last night, I have a new appreciation for the umpire, for the art of umpiring. As now I'm a if you want to call it professional, I mean, you get paid to do it, so that's technically professional. But I'm up in a local men's league around here, and it's fun. But that was textbook. Good job on the foul ball call. 3-2 pitch, off speed, up, and that's a walk to lead off the inning for Demetrius Moore. The walk sponsors Gordon's Groceries, a local chain that's been around for over 100 years. 1923 is when they got started here in Hagerstown, and they specialize in seafood. And well, you can get some great food here at the ballpark, but my favorite things to get are either the crab cake sandwich from Gordon's Grocery. Aceto Culver makes his way to the plate with a runner on and no outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Off speed pitch in for strike number 1. But the Gordon's crab cake sandwich is perfect. And then the Gordon's chicken Chesapeake sandwich, which is a crab cake on top of a chicken breast, is even better. You're not watching a baseball game in Maryland if you don't got crab cake options, and the Gordon's ones here are pretty good. Moore takes off, hit and run, perfectly executed, as Moore will go around second base, and we'll have runners on the corners after the no out. Aceto Culver base hit.
The second baseman, Jalen.
Yeah, if you want to see a perfectly executed hit and run, that was it for the Boxcars. Good jump by Moore. I think he might have been able to steal the base anyways. But Culver punched it through the right side of the infield. Scoring opportunity for the Boxcars, and Jalen Williams, who's had the hottest bat for the Boxcars so far in the last couple of games, especially in this homestand, as he watches that one low for ball number 1 from Woods Jr. Jalen Williams, I was able to talk with him yesterday. That's up on the social media pages. At 6'2", 200 out of Greenville, Mississippi. Check swing, they'll appeal. Did he go? They said he didn't. 2-0 the count. And yesterday it was a hot one. It was 90 degrees here at the ballpark. And after I was done talking with him, I said, you know, I know it's hot for me, but you're from Mississippi. This can't be anything new to you. And said he loved playing in this kind of hot weather. I've never been to Mississippi, been to Alabama, but it's a hot one again today, a humid day at the ballpark. The 2-0 fouled off, 2-1 the count from Woods Jr. to Jalen Williams.
Your MVC, most valuable cleaner.
that pitch at 92, dotted on the outside corner to even the count up from Woods Jr. to Williams. 2-2, no outs. Runners on the corners. At first base, it's Cito Culver. Third base is Demetrius Moore. Off speed, wisely not swung at for ball number 3, as that was a tantalizing pitch, I'm sure, for Williams there at the plate, but letting it go for ball number 3 and full count. Woods comes set. Culver takes off. Ball hit to the left side. It's through for a base hit. And back-to-back hit and runs work perfectly as Demetrius Moore comes around to score on the RBI base hit from Jalen Williams. Dotel makes his way back up for his second at-bat tonight. He grounded out to the shortstop in his first at-bat. But now with no outs, Boxcars cut the lead in half, 4-2. And still threatening. Cito Culver, second base. Jalen Williams at first. Strike one to Dotel. But a lot of speed with the three Boxcars out on the base path and then the batter's box. And a great setup potentially here for Curtis Terry, power hitting first baseman who's on deck. The 0-1 off speed, misses inside. This Dotel dives across it. He's the showman on the team. I'll call him Blade sometimes when he's running around here with his sunglasses on before the game. Off speed, fouled off into the glove of Waite. The 1-2 missing away. 2-2 now from Woods Jr. to Wellington Dotel. On this Fireworks Friday at the ballpark, free baseball Friday on the Flow Sports app. And an off-speed pitch swung on by Dotel for out number 1, and Curtis Terry to the plate with 2 runners on the base pass.
The first baseman, number 14, Curtis Terry.
Curtis Terry, first baseman, up with 1 out and an RBI opportunity. Speed and Cito Culver at second base. Fastball inside to Terry for strike number 1. Curtis grounded out to the shortstop in his first at-bat last inning. Again, this is first game, or I say his first game back. He had the night off last night. Trying to get back into the swing of things as watches that one away for ball number 1. Curtis Terry, another one of these Boxcars with big league experience. He spent a long time in the Texas Rangers organization and also up in the big leagues with the Rangers. Had a couple of big games for Texas in that brand new ballpark when it first opened. The 1-1 off speed hit foul. 1-2 the count. Curtis Terry with 5 home runs, 22 RBIs this year. He hits that one hard to the shortstop. Get the force at second base, and they'll be able to turn 2 to end the inning for the Boxcars. But a run still able to come around. Demetrius Moore scoring after the Jalen Williams RBI base hit. The Boxcars trailing by 2 as we head into the 4th. 4-2 here on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network. Welcome back to Meredith Park as we are heading into the top of the fourth inning. It'll be Ivan Castillo, Hector Gomez, and Jonathan Waite up for Long Island as they try to protect their 2-run lead over the Boxcars, 4-2. I'm Jordan Icewarner with you here high above Meredith Park. First pitch to Castillo from the starter Dylan Sabia in for strike number 1. Sabia really settled in that last inning after giving up the 2 runs in the first and the second. 10 off-speed pitches away. But this is just Sabia's second start. Seen a lot of action out of the bullpen in relief this year. That one's hit to the right side. Going back is Dotel to the warning track, and it'll clear the wall, and that's a leadoff home run for Ivan Castillo. That will extend their lead to 3 runs, and it's an interesting layout for the outfield walls here at the ballpark. At center field, if it hits off the batter's eye, it's a home run. But in right field, if it hits off the advertising boards over the wall, well, that's not a home run. You got to hit it over the advertising boards, and that one just barely getting over the right field wall. The 5-2 now in favor of the Ducks, and the first pitch to Hector Gomez is in for strike number 1 at 90 miles an hour from Sabia. That one in for ball number 1. Mentioned earlier in the game that the power alley here at Meredith Park is definitely right field. And you saw the ball, how quickly it'll get out of here. That's strike number 2 on Gomez. We've seen some. I mean, Cito Culver a few games ago, he hit one that, I mean, it's 322 to the foul pole. I think he hit it 323 and barely got it, and it just soared out of this place. Play gets made in the dugout by one of the Ducks. And it's 1-2 to Hector Gomez. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Reached on an error, then it came around to score in the second inning. That fastball way up as it comes all the way back to Tyler Hill. 2-2 the count. Now the count goes full, and Star Wars night here at the ballpark. Some great pictures up on the social media pages showing the different Star Wars characters roaming around and taking pictures with the fans. Great crowd here at the ballpark tonight. It's a capacity of 4,000. I'd say, just a ballpark guess, if you will, that probably right around 4,000 at the ballpark today, maybe a little less. Sabia throws that one, and it's hit softly to right field. It'll fall in front of Wellington Dotel, and that's a no-out base hit for Hector Gomez.
The catcher, Jonathan Waite.
Catcher Jonathan Waite up now. He's 1 for 1 on the day. A base hit in the second inning. Then he came around to score. Gomez takes off. The throw from Hill. Got him at second base.
That runner has been caught stealing by Spiker Security. Grant yourself peace of mind.
Tyler Hill, at least here at Meredith Park, has proven in the last couple of games to be tough to steal off of. You gotta really get a good jump off whoever's pitching on the night. But the throw beat him there. It was a good tag put on by Jalen Williams. Now it's 0-2 with 1 out to Jonathan Waite. And you love seeing that from your catcher. That completely changes the complexion of the inning. So that one's up 1-2 to wait. As you take speed off the base pad, that was a good pitch too. I mean, to throw on at least. It was fastball up, right around that 90-mile-an-hour mark. And Sabia's quick to the mound, or to the plate. So he throws that one low. 2-2 the count to the catcher, Jonathan Waite. Good off-speed pitch will strike out. Wait for out number 2. And that just the second strikeout tonight for Sabia, but a great pitch, completely fooling the catcher. And now back to the top of the lineup to Manuel Gerardo, who's 0 for 2 on the day for Long Island. Strikeout and out on a fielder's choice in his last at-bat. The off-speed pitch at 80 misses. But tomorrow night here at the ballpark, it's Father's Day giveaway. You get the baby blue bucket hat. Looks pretty cool. I'll try and grab one of them. We'll come out and spend Father's Day at the ballpark. We're here till Sunday. And the Boxcars have the day off, and then they hit the road. They go to York and Long Island. Good pitch right at the knees for strike number 1. Now, don't get me wrong. I love this view, the backdrop behind the ballpark here in Hagerstown with the churches and the downtown skyline with all the brick buildings and the Maryland Theater and St. John's Church and different places. But if you've ever seen a ball game or watched a ball game that's being played in Staten Island, boy, that's a pretty nice backdrop with the New York City skyline and the Hudson River and the bay all right in there. You can see the Statue of Liberty past the right center wall. If you're a ballpark fan and you like going to different ballparks and you're not too worried about not going to a major league game, that should be one you have circled and starred on your calendar. It's a 3-2 pitch is away, and it's a 2-out walk to the leadoff man, Manuel Gerardo. That'll bring out a mound visit from pitching coach Manny Corpaz. So it looks like there's something going on with inside of Sabia's hat. But Corpaz, the pitching coach for the Boxcars, had a lot of major league experience, especially with the Rockies, where he was a part of that postseason run. But he's had an interesting job ahead of him at Hagerstown, taking this brand new team with a lot of young pitchers and trying to figure out where they place. A lot of these guys in the rotation for the Boxcars are traditional closers pretty much their entire life, or not closers, relief pitchers their entire career, that have now had to try and figure out how to be a starter. Case in point, Malik Binns, who got the win last night. It was a good start for him. He gave up 3 runs in the first inning, but then settled in great after that. But he's a guy that all throughout his collegiate career and early pro career, he was a relief pitcher, and going from the bullpen to the starter role is a tough one. It's the first pitch that Tyler Dearden is fouled off. And Sabia, again, just his second start of the year, as he is a traditional relief guy himself. But he's got 2 outs now, runner on first base, and Tyler Dearden at the plate, who's 2 for 2, a base hit and an RBI double for him. Pick off a little late. Up for the Boxcars in the home half, it'll be Dario Gomez, Justin Williams, and Osvaldo Abreu. Another ball hit foul into the concourse. That'll go towards Summit Avenue. And again, this ball field right on the intersection of Baltimore Street and Summit Avenue. Summit Avenue, one of the main thoroughfares into the ballpark or into downtown Hagerstown. Baltimore Street one of the, I'd say, the locals' way to get around. It's a good, Baltimore Street's a good side street that you can cut to different parts of downtown and skip a couple of one-ways and whatnot. But this ballpark right in the heart of downtown and drawing great crowds day in and day out. Here's the 1-2 to Dearden. Off-speed pitch is away. The throw down. He slides past the bag, and he's out at second base to end the inning.
That runner has been caught stealing by Spiker Security.
With these artificial turf fields, and again, Long Island, they don't play on an artificial turf field, but you got to slide a little bit different, as that's 2 putouts by Tyler Hill behind the plate for the Boxcars, keeping things at 5-2. We'll be back on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network. Park for the home half of the 4th inning. It'll be Dario Gomez, Justin Williams, and Osvaldo Abreu up for the Boxcars. And I'm Jordan Nicewarner with you, live from Meredith Park on the Flow Sports app and the free Flow Baseball Game of the Week. First pitch from Woods Jr. is skipped for ball number 1. Gomez, he's 1 for 1 on the day and came around to score. He's coming off a 2-hit game last night, a double and a home run. His first 2 hits as a Boxcar. So that one at 92 misses inside. Count to the DH tonight, Dario Gomez. And again, we are the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. If you're tuning in for your first time tonight and wondering what a flying boxcar is, well, so that's a 4-pitch walk to the leadoff man, Dario Gomez. A flying boxcar is the C-119 flying boxcar. First flight was in 1947, and it was designed and manufactured by the Fairchild Group, which was right here in Hagerstown, just a few miles away from the ballpark. And it was an interesting looking military plane, World War II era plane. It was cargo carrier, personnel carrier. It would drop cargo and parachute troops. Made its first flight in November 1947, and by the time they stopped producing it in 1955, over 1,100 had been built, most of which, if not all of which, were made right here in Hagerstown, Maryland. Justin Williams looks at the first pitch for a ball. The second one catches right at the knees for strike number 1. He wasn't too happy about that, as he'll get back into the box. He's 1 for 1 on the day, an RBI double back in the second that scored Dario Gomez. He'll hit that one foul. 1-2 the count. Joe Campagna. He's injured at the moment, but he's the honorary first base coach. And this is a big night for him. He's a huge Star Wars guy. He's been a part of all the promotions and whatnot leading up to tonight. Here's the 1-2. Off-speed pitch, swung on and missed by Williams for strike number 3 and out number 1.
Letting everyone know that Kids Zone inflatables will be shut down in 5 minutes. 5 minutes for the Kids Zone inflatables. The shortstop.
With one out, Ozzie Abreu comes up. Osvaldo Abreu came into the game batting .219. He walked in his first at bat and eventually out due to a force out at second. He's got Daryl Gomez at first base, and he'll swing at the off-speed pitch for strike number 1. Last night for Ozzie, he had an RBI base hit in the first inning, RBI double in the second inning, and then an RBI base hit to round things up in the 7th. He had a big night on his birthday last night. Turned 30 years old yesterday. Pick off, getting in there safe is Gomez. Gomez not a stealing threat. He's a big guy over there at first base, 6'4", 190. Seems a little surprised by the pickoff attempt, I think. Hard hit ball to left center field, ranging in and making a shoestring catch. It's the left fielder McGarry. So that'll be out number 2 for the Boxcars here in the home half of the 4th.
The catcher, Tyler Hill.
Catcher Tyler Hill up now. He was part of that fielder's choice with Abreu back in the second inning. First pitch, slider, catches the top of the zone for strike number 1. Big swing from Hill there. Just goes through it. Woods comes set. 0-2 2-out pitch on the way to Tyler Hill. Off speed away, 1-2. Hill's an interesting guy on the team. Any game before his start, you can find him in the dugout well before the game, reading his books and hanging out. So he'll hit that softly down the first baseline, and he'll be sliding under the tag, but eventually the tag laid on by the first baseman, McBroom, as he nods at him, says, well done, well played, but I got you anyways. Says, I've never seen that one. I've watched a lot of baseball in my day, but I have not seen the slide under the tag at first base. But hey, it all counts, and it's still counted as an out anyways for the Boxcars. We'll head into the top of the 5th inning. Boxcars trailing 5-2 on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network. And we're back here at Mariners Park for the top of the 5th inning. It'll be Tyler Dearden leading things off for Long Island. Dylan Savia still out on the mound for the Boxcars. 5-2 the score. A beautiful night for baseball in the Hub City. Packed house. Hard hit ball. Williams will cleanly pick that one up and flip it over to Curtis Terry for a easy out number 1. Right around 75 degrees. Nice breeze blowing. It's cooled off nice now that the sun is, for the most part, set here in Hagerstown just after 8 o'clock. And that'll bring up number 30, the home run hitter tonight for Long Island, Ryan McBroom. First pitch. Swung through for strike number 1. That ball hit softly to the right side. It's going to be a tough play as it'll go all the way into the corner in front of the right fielder, Wellington Dotel, and that'll be a 1-out double for the first baseman, Ryan McBroom.
The designated hitter, Chance Cisco.
Cisco, he's 0 for 0. First pitch, ball low for ball number 1. He walked both times in his first 2 at-bats, and in his last at-bat in the 3rd, he walked and was part of that 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Savia comes set. I want to miss low and inside for ball number 2. One of the big in-between innings promotions here at the ballpark is the Central City Liquors mascot race. That'll be coming up at the conclusion of this half inning. And I think it's going to be a pretty special one tonight, with it being Star Wars night and whatnot. That one misses high. 3-0, the count to Chance Cisco. I see Darth Vader staging. Striker, the mascot for the Boxcars, he's getting in position. Central City Liquors mascot race, a long-standing tradition in Hagerstown baseball. It got started back with the Hagerstown Suns. Here comes the 3-0 from Savia. That'll miss away. That's a 4-pitch walk to Chance Cisco. Runners at second and first for Long Island and J.C. Encarnacion.
The center fielder, J.C. Encarnacion.
I'll bring out a visit from pitching coach Manny Corpaz. There is some action in the bullpen for the Boxcars. Can't quite tell. They switched bullpens on us a homestand or 2 ago. It's a tiered bullpen out in right center field. And the Boxcars did have the front bullpen for a while, where we could see through the windows in the fence. We could see who was warming up. But now that they're in that upper level, we can't see him because the advertisements are blocking him. So Savia, he stay out there after that quick meeting with, again, pitching coach Manny Corpaz. As we'll get back into the swing of things with J.C. Encarnacion and runners on at second and first. First pitch misses inside for ball number 1 at 90 miles an hour. Manager for the Boxcars, Mark Mason, and pitching coach Manny Corpaz, they are not afraid to use pitchers, as you'll see anywhere from 4 to 6 pitchers used in a game. A lot of guys will come in for 1 inning, come in for 1 out, Last night they went through 5 pitchers. Night before that they went through 5. Night before that they went through 6. Sabia trying to extend this start a little bit longer as that one's hitting the air to left field. Justin Williams ranging back to left center. He calls off Moore and brings it in for out number 2 and does a great job getting it in fast enough, keeping Ryan McBroom at second base.
The left fielder, Alex McGinn.
Now with 2 outs, 1 runner in scoring position, it's Alex McGarry, and that will bring out manager Mark Mason, and that'll be the end of the night for Dylan Sabia. We'll step aside for a few minutes. We'll get the final totals on Sabia and see who the new pitcher is for the Boxcars here at the top of the 5th inning on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network. And welcome back to Meredith Park. New pitcher on the mound for the Boxcars is number 29, Rob Clinshock out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Taking over for Dylan Sabia. Went 4 2/3 innings. He gave up 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 of which were earned. He walked 4 and struck out 2. First pitch from Sabia is in for strike number 1. I've been trying to keep an eye as well on the weather. There was some weather working its way from the west. And judging by the radar, we got rain coming in as that one's hit softly up the middle. Be picked up by Abreu, and he'll sling it across for out number 3. No runs come across for Long Island in the 5th inning. We'll head into the home half. It'll be 1, 2, 3. Moore, Culver, and Williams. And here comes the Central City Liquors mascot race after the next half inning on the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars Baseball Network.
Welcome back to Mariners Park as the Boxcars come in for the home half of the 5th inning with the rain falling and trailing 5-2 to the visiting Long Island Ducks. I'm Jordan Icewinter with you on the Flow Sports Flow Baseball free game of the week. It's the first pitch to the leadoff man Moore is in for strike number 1, and be ready for potentially what could be the first delay for a Boxcars game, because there is a big storm working its way to Hagerstown. It's just about here. There's been a mass exodus of fans. I looked out on the concourse in between innings behind the press box, and people were trying to find some cover. The 3-2 off speed up and in, or the 0-2, now 1-2 to Moore. On the day, he's 0 for 1. Fly out in the first inning and then a walk in his last at bat, but he came around to score. He'll foul that one off, staying alive. Now, the reason I bring up that we might see our first delay here at Mariners Park is because, well, it rained every game for the first 3 homestands, and not a single delay was had, and that's due in part with the artificial turf field. The only part of the field that is a traditional clay dirt mixture is the mound. So that 1-2 fastball at 95 miles an hour goes well past the catcher. But the problem with that, not, coming off the field and, covering the pitcher's mound up, is that pitcher's mound with that clay, once it gets wet, becomes very brittle. Well, that mound has been prone to some damages thanks to this rain we've been having, and the rain really coming down now. So fans down in the beer garden fired up in the rain. 3-2 count to leadoff man Moore. Foul ball off the netting. Be interested to see how this storm acts. Now, we're in an interesting part of the state of the country here where we got the Appalachian Mountains. We're right in the foothills of them here in Hagerstown, if not right in the beginning starts of the Appalachian Mountains, and that can do a lot of things to the weather systems around here. Sometimes it'll create storms that skip Hagerstown as the full count pitch is low, and that'll be another walk for Demetrius Moore here in the 5th inning. But sometimes that'll take storms and propel them past Hagerstown where it doesn't affect us at all. And other times, like what it seems like is about to happen, is that this storm is going to kind of get pinned, as now the players will be taken off the field. But as I'm trying to get my meteorological statement out here, the weather sometimes can either get skipped by us because of the mountains or stuck on top of us because of the mountains. And well, it looks like we are about to get stuck on top of with this system, because the field is getting evacuated. All the fans are making their way to the concourse. Bullpens are getting cleared. Must have been some lightning, and judging by this storm cell, and there's some big lightning right there. So yeah, you got to take the guys off for that. But this is our first delay in Mariners Park history. Record books. Records are being written in the record books every day here at the ballpark. And we'll go ahead and step aside for a few minutes, fulfill our obligations to Flow Sports with some ads, but we'll stick around. We'll check back in every once in a while as we are in a rain delay here in Hagerstown on the Flow Sports Flow Baseball free game of the week.